Today we're going to be talking about linear equations involving fractions. Now remember, when you did fractions of numbers, if I gave you this 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2, how do you solve problems like this? All you have to do is to express them as equivalent fractions. In other words, the denominators has to be the same. So what do? You multiply this by 2. Therefore, you should also multiply this by 2 so that the number doesn't change. And you multiply this by 3, and then you also multiply this by 3. This gives us 4 over what? 6 plus 3 over 6. Now they have a common denominator. It means that you can just simply add the numerators, 4 plus 3, and that is 7 over 6. But today, we're going to be doing this with algebra. Let's say I give you this. 2x over 3 is equal to 5. This is a fractional equation. And what is that rule? There's one golden rule. For you to solve fractional equations, kindly note that you can clear the fractions by cross multiplication or multiplying through by the lowest common multiple of both sides. What do I mean? Escucha me. If this is 5 over 1, of course, a whole number is a fraction over 1. There is one fraction on the left-hand side. There is one fraction on the right-hand side. Therefore, you can cross multiply. And it's called cross multiplication. Cross multiply. Use 2x times 1, that is 2x, and that gives me 3 times 5, that is 15. Now, at this point in time, you need to divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2. You divide this by 2. This will cancel out. You can therefore say that your x is equal to 15 divided by 2, which is what? 7.5, or you leave it as a fraction, depending on what the examiner wants you to do. Oh, one more thing. Sometimes you can decide to solve the same equation, 2x over 3 equals 5, by multiply through by 3. By 3 in the sense that 3 is the common what? Multiple is the lowest common multiple between the fraction on the left-hand side and the fraction on the right-hand side. So if you do this, 3 times 2x over 3 is equal to 3 times 5 over 1. This 3 will cancel out. Then you have 2x equals 15, and therefore x is equal to 7.5. You can see, whichever way you choose to do this, you will always get the same answer. So those are the two basic ways. But also, there are different categories of fractional equations, which you need to understand. How do we go about this? Let's take another example. So let's say this is example 0.1. If I ask you to find the value of x, find x if x over 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 over 2. Now, this is the fractional equation. And at this point, you need to understand something. You can use any of the method, depending on which one you like to use best. I'm going to multiply through by 2. Do you know why? Because the lowest common multiple of both sides, this is 2, 1, 2. That's what? 2. In an attempt to doing that, I have 2 times x over 2 plus 2 times 3 over 1 equals 2 times 5 over 2. Now listen, my 2 will cancel out. I have x plus 2 times 3, 6 equals, this 2 will cancel out. I have what? 5. Now what do I do next? My x will be equal to 5 minus 6. Because from this part, what I'm simply doing is what? Collecting like terms. So, and what is 5 minus 6? Therefore, x is equal to minus 1. As simple as that. So I would want you to go through this. If you do not understand, you can rewind the videos and replay it. Otherwise, let us look at a few questions. I will want us to do this question 2a that says x over 4 plus 1 is equal to 9. Now at this point, I will simply collect like terms before I cross multiply. And you know why? Because your equation that is fractional must have just one fraction on the left-hand side and one fraction on the right-hand side if you want to cross multiply. So x over 4 equals plus 1 will move to the side. It becomes what? Minus 1. And then I have x over 4 equals 9 minus 1, which is what? 8. Remember, this is now a fraction. One fraction on the right-hand side. At this point, you can what? Cross multiply. X times 1 is x, and then 4 times 8 is what? 32. This is how simple this can get. Let's look at another question. And this question is from this section 3. A. It says x plus 1 over 2 is equal to 3. Remember, this is also one fraction on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. So you can cross multiply directly. And when you do that, you have x plus 1 is equal to what? 6. Now, you collect the like terms by moving plus 1 to the side. X is equal to 6 minus 1, and then you can say this is equal to 5. As simple as that. Be very careful when you have negative signs. I'll leave you to go and try out some of these questions and see how well you understood this topic. I'll see you in the next class. Do not forget to like the videos, make a comment if you like it, and send us a message if you want us to provide any other videos for you. Bye for now.